Greetings from Uganda. Naula Major in Bole for isinijurutv. Today we bring to you the news as the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, rebrands Uganda from Visit Uganda to Explore Uganda. This is aimed to promote the tourism industry of Uganda in line with the post-COVID effect. President Yoweri Museveni has launched Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa destination brand which aims at boosting tourism in key and emerging markets around the world. Speaking at the launch, Museveni said, "Uganda is a unique country and its location right at the equator influences great weather all round, and this makes it the best across the world."
It is my pleasure to launch the brand of Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency is appending his signature endorsing Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
I want to thank Your Excellency for accepting to grace this occasion as the chief guest. Since you are the Uganda #1 salesperson in terms of destination and plenipotent, your acceptance to preside over this occasion is a sign of confidence and trust in the brand we have just unveiled. The destination brand and the marketing activities that shall follow hereafter are not in isolation. They complement other existing initiatives by the government to improve our product offering, improve the consumer experience, and therefore widen opportunities for the private sector, as well as quicken the pace of recovery. These measures, most of which are part of Tourism Development Program of the National Development Program, NDP3, include increased marketing efforts, the development of tourism infrastructure, addressing human-wildlife conflict, and diversifying our product offer.
Today is a day that will significantly shape the rebuilding, restarting, and more importantly, winning Uganda's rightful place in the market. Why do I say rightful? Uganda is recognized as the most hospitable nation, and this is exemplified in the friendliness of its people, the great lifestyle, and the sense of hope. Uganda has outstanding landscapes and has a record of 18,783 species of fauna and flora. Uganda, according to Fauna and Flora International, ranks among the top 10 most biodiverse countries globally. Uganda possesses 53.9% of the world's remaining population of the mountain gorillas, 50% of the bird species in Africa, 39% of Africa's mammal richness, and several other unique attractions, such as over 5,000 plant species, the world's largest tropical lake.
When they came to see me, I said, what new are you telling me? I've heard all these stories. They said, no, we have come to tell you the difference between visiting and exploring. Oh, what does it mean? said, visiting, you come and go. But exploring, you come, you stay, you go, you look. Is that not what you told me? You say I'm a good student. So I said, oh, these people, they are putting a lot of concentration.
Why is it important? Uganda's tourism industry, like the rest of the global tourism industry, is at its basic made of the 5 A's. The 5 A's are: 1, attractions, whether natural or man-made. 2, accessibility. How do we get to the attractions? 3, accommodation. Should visitors need to stay overnight and longer to enjoy these attractions? Amenities. Enablers and enhancers of the tourist experience en route to or at the destination. The 5th A is awareness, which is about maximizing the tourists' or travelers' and investors' knowledge about Uganda's 4 A's of tourism, unpacking the 4 A's in ways that are relevant and or meet the tourists' preferences and needs, and ultimately convincing them that Uganda is the best destination for their present and future travel needs. To harmonize messaging around all the positive Ugandan experiences into a consistent, credible, authentic, and trusted promise and value proposition that tourists and the travel trade are not only willing to buy into, but are happy and confident to recommend to their friends and families and their customers, we needed to go back to the basics. We had to step back. We researched, we consulted stakeholders to get a better understanding of what brings the tourists to Uganda, what gets the Ugandans to travel in their own country. And also, we researched to find out why some tourists come only once and why some make repeated visits to Uganda. And to answer this question, we gathered insights, fused them with what we have to offer as a destination, our falls into a renewed destination brand. Even after creating the initial destination brand, we still had consultation with our stakeholders, especially the private sector, our board, the ministry, with the cabinet, and finally, with Your Excellency, the President, what we are here to serve to the world.
Tourists cannot come where there's no peace. So that's an aspect that attracts tourists. Infrastructure. This is part of what Madam Ajarova was talking about. The accommodation, the accessibility. This is all to do with the infrastructure. And finally, health. It should be interesting for foreigners to know how we were able to fight AIDS, to fight Ebola, and recently to fight Corona.
Your Excellency, on behalf of the tourism sector, allow me to restate our commitment to increase tourism contribution to the national development, to increase the number of tourists, visitors in the country, to increase the sector's contribution towards employment and income, increase our contribution to GDP and foreign exchange earnings, protect and conserve the natural habitat, flora and fauna that make Uganda a pristine destination.
Whenever I go abroad, things are not easy at all. You are not comfortable. You are in the hotels, air conditioning. If you go out, it's very hot. In many places, in some, very cold. Even in New York, if you go there in summer, it is very hot outside. Washington also. Quite, I think, humid or something. It's not, you go inside, it is air conditioning. But here, life is so easy and so nice. That's why many of the Ugandans are lazy. They don't work. Because here, it is very difficult for fools to die. Fools cannot easily die. You can be foolish and you just stay there eating from your relatives. Somebody says, what are you coming to do here? I say, I have come to see you.
The government of Uganda, with financial support from the United States Agent for International Development, USAID, and Advocate Coalition for Development and Environment, Accord, and other partners have launched a 10-year national health supply chain roadmap to ensure the sustainability of development outcomes invested in the health sector over the years. This is in spirit of availing essential medicines and health supplies to all Ugandans at all times.
Uganda's Vision 2040 seeks to make Uganda more self-reliant and provides an overarching framework to strategically plan how to take on the support provided by the partners. The 10-year health supply chain roadmap is in line with this planning trajectory. The roadmap emphasizes a one-government approach as critical to its effective implementation. In this regard, allow me to recognize the important role the leadership and technical staff from the Ministries of Finance, Local Government, Public Service, Energy and Mineral Development, ICT, the various departments, agencies that all participated in development of this roadmap. My ministry would like to commit to provide technical oversight, enforce quality assurance, monitor and evaluate the implementation of the roadmap. My ministry will also ensure that there is an enabling policy framework for effective implementation of the roadmap. The implementation of this roadmap is estimated at US $44.8 million across the 10 years, nearly 50 million US dollars. This investment will be needed to ensure that the technical implementation environment, that is the human resource, ICT equipment, operational management, and supervision is all addressed, both at the central and the local government, to effectively oversee and run the health supply chain in the country. While this may look like a heavy investment, together with our respective and collective efforts, we shall realize it through integrated planning, budgeting across ministries, and a very good coordination mechanism.
As we launch this roadmap, we need to look at entire picture that will give us a successful implementation of this roadmap. So objectives of this roadmap: one is to establish a transition plan with goals geared towards strengthening government of Uganda ownership of operational responsibility for a fully functional and sustainable national supply chain system. The second one is to articulate a national supply chain financing plan that involves innovative domestic resource mobilization and optimization that will ensure adequate health supplies in our facilities. Number three is to invoke supply chain policies and regulatory framework with appropriate change management approaches to stimulate effective supply chain system, leadership, and governance. And this part, we are going to rely so much on two key ministries. And especially when we talk about governance and leadership, we're really going to rely so much on Ministry of Local Government and Ministry of Public Service. They are backbone of this. Without these two ministries owning this process and helping us, we will just put the policies and frameworks in place, but they will just remain on the paper.
For the health sector to be responsive to our people's needs, we need power, appropriate technology penetration in all health facilities, adequate human resources, medicines, and conducive environments. But as many of you have seen over the years, there has been a decline in attitude of the health workers with a lot of industrial actions. We are looking up to the Minister for Public Service and Constitutional Affairs that there may be peace in the health system. This requires proactive interventions that are oriented towards increased Government of Uganda ownership in planning, financing, and management of health supply chain system. In a special way, allow me to register our appreciation to USAID and the strengthening supply chain activity for the financial and technical support in putting together the roadmap.
We've been working with PNFPs, but we have not really linked, we have not established the systems that also ensure accountability. We provide medicines to PNFPs actually. Government gives money, funds the PNFPs. But to ensure that proper utilization and proper accountability, we still have that weak link. And therefore, we think that this roadmap will help us to strengthen that component.
Government through the Ministry of Health has made significant progress towards achieving universal health coverage and ensuring that all health supplies are available for those who need it when they need it. And government is committed to ensure that vital inputs into the health system are continuously and incrementally made available, particularly medicines and health supplies. And I really must emphasize that the last 2 years has seen a significant change in the health system. Perhaps we will be given opportunity later on after this pandemic to share some of the achievements. Since 2001, government allocation to essential medicines and health commodities and priority health products and equipment have been on an upward trajectory.
Implementation of this roadmap is guided by 4 principles. The first one is that one government approach. This morning we're having a meeting with ICT, with finance, with the Office of the Attorney General and ourselves to discuss the systems development and rollout. And so we need to encourage this one government approach. One government approach will first of all bring efficiency. It cuts down on wastage of time because you have to write, then the letter goes then the other one has to wait. But if we just, when we have an issue, it is dealing with information system in government, e-health. Therefore, ICT, finance, ourselves, human resource, public service, we sit together and we discuss. Like today, we were really handling a very big roadblock that had been, but within just 30 minutes of our meeting, we were able to resolve. So we really need to emphasize one government approach. I know that we are still stuck in, especially we who are working in government, we like formalities. Write to me. You know, I'm discussing with you, but then someone said, you first communicate to me in writing, then I get the letter, then I will write back, then I'll respond, then also you respond. 6 months down the road, we are in those semantics. So if we can really change that modus operandi, and we are able to say, this is the issue on the table. We want internet in our facilities in order to have systems rolled out. What do we need? Ministry of ICT, NITA-U, Finance, us. Can we sit? Can we agree on this and resolve? We don't have power in our facilities. How do we power? How do we have online reporting, in real-time reporting, when we don't have power? So what do we need? Ministry of Energy. Let's sit in one room and we discuss and finish so that really these inefficiencies, these delays really stop.
Buganda Kingdom, in a bid to achieve a healthy population post the COVID-19 effect, has urged Ugandans not to forget about HIV/AIDS as they focus on the COVID-19. While delivering the King's message, the Premier of Buganda, Katikkiro Charles Peter Mayiga, says men should be the lead in this fight against HIV/AIDS. Let's listen in.
Ansooka okubategeeza nti kitaffe Ssaabasajja Kabaka gy'ali ateredde entende ku Nnamulondo y'abajjajjaabe alamula Obuganda. N'olwekyo bye nnaayogera wano bijja kuba byetooloolera ku kwogera kw'Omutanda nga gulawo olukiiko ng'ennaku z'omwezi 13 omwezi oguwedde. Ssaabasajja yatusibirira ettu eryali mu bubaka bwe, era nzikiriza Oweekitiibwa Sipiika, ettu eryo ndisumulule katonotono ku nsonga 3 ye ze yatutegeeza ng'ali ku Nnamulondo. Oweekitiibwa Sipiika, olutalo olw'okulwanyisa obulwadde bwa mukenenya okusaasaana mu bantu y'emu ku nsonga Omutanda ze yaggyeeyo. Yatugamba tuleme kwerabira ndwadde eya mukenenya olw'okuba tulina kati ate lumiima mawuggwe. Mu biseera bino eby'omuggalo, Siriimu abadde yeetala nga Namutale omuggyeko ente. Oba Namutale y'ani? Simanyi nante gye baagimuggyirako. Nja kubuuza bano babamanyi ebintu. Namutale ono ente baagimuggyirako waalyoke yeetale. Oli yaze n'aŋŋamba emabekako wiiki ewedde nti Siriimu abadde asaawa embaliga nga nti abadde akola atya simanya ng'ow'embaliga gwe babikidde nnyina bagamba batya? Abadde akola atya? Abadde bayo ekigambo kye yayogedde nti ng'ow'embaliga abikiddwa nnyina.
Nze mbadde nsaba busabi kubanga lumiima mawuggwe bwe yajja tulinga abeerabira mukenenya. Ate abaami olugero lugamba omwana omuwala asera na nnyina, omulenzi asera na kitaawe. Naye abaami mutulekedde nnyo olutalo olw'okulwanyisa mukenenya naddala mu maka. ate nga Ssaabasajja yagamba mu abaami mubeere abasaale.
Tufuna amawulire enkya n'eggulo ku baana abafunye embuto, ate ng'omwana okufuna olubuto ekyo kiragibwa mu lwatu nti aba teyeekuumye. Waliwo omukutu gwe bayita Uganda Fact Sheet on Teenage Pregnancy gwabadde gukola okunoonyereza nga baleese ebitundu mu Uganda, ebitundu nga Busoga, Lango, West Nile ne Rwenzori, naye ekyankuteka ennyo ky'ekitundu kya Buganda nga mu districts eza Buganda Mukono, Wakiso, Rakai, Luweero ne Kampala ennamba z'abaana abafunye embuto abawala ziri wala nnyo.
Nze ndabidde kati ekiseera ekinene kye tubadde n'abaana mu Lumiima Mawugwe ono. Nze nga bondaba n'obeera n'eddenzi lya myaka 3 liyingira essaawa 2 taata ali mu nju tafuddeeyo. Gwe n'ovaayo ne weekaza n'omugamba ssebo ovaawa. Naye nga naawe owulira weekazizza buki bwekaza. Naye nga ffe abakyala twekubireko mu ngalo, olutalo tululwanye nnyo. Kyenva nsaba abaami nammwe mulwana olutalo nga ffe abakyala lwe tulwana, osanga Lumiima Mawugwe anaakola ki? Naye abaami mutulekedde nnyo abaana ng'ate naddala abaana abalenzi omukyala toyina bw'omutandika mukola ki? Kumugamba naye era twekaza n'omugamba ovaawa ssebo.
HIV AIDS asinga kwata bafumbo bokka, waliwo n'abali Ssekinoomu n'obuuza nti ye yamugjawa.
Ssaabasajja yatulagira okwongera okwekuuma nga tuwagira kaweefube n'okulwanyisa Mukenenya. Minisitule ey'enkulaakulana y'abantu ng'eyetwala ebyobulamu, ensonga eno egiriko nnyo era nkakasa nti okuva n'omutandalo yakikkaatiriza ng'aggulawo olukiiko, minisitule tejja kussa mukono. Tunyweze enteekateeka ze tulina tubangewo n'empya. Tukubirize abantu okwetangira Mukenenya akawuka kaleme kusaasa. Enkola esinga erimu ensonyi naye yeesinga okuba entuufu kukyogerako nga bwe kiri. Olina okwegendereza wa w'oyogerera naye bwe kiri. Okukuta ku bya siriimu kimusaasaanyizza nnyo. Abantu bakukuta boogera bayita eno, nze mbabuulira nti siriimu akwatawo kanudde eriiso nga liringa lyangege. Omukyalo oli kimusesezza. Obadde olowooza nti abantu amakwata beebase? Nedda nnyabo. Babeera balaba. Kati bw'obanga olaba Kabaka akugambye, lwaki toba mwegendereza?
Ate ebintu tubijje mu ngero, abaana tubabuulire bino ebyengero bye mwagambanga omwana ayita mu kkundi, abaana tubabuulire nti bw'okola bw'oti ne bw'oti ogenda kufuna kino. Ebyengero tubikole ki?
Wano ngezaako okwegendereza kuba luno olukiiko olukulu olwa Buganda. N'omukubiriza ayinza okunzijjako omukisa guno. Naye ndoza muntegedde, ayogera mu bagezi ayogera bitono. Ne bategeera. Siriimu akwata abakulu akwata n'abato. Temuteyibaalamu abakuze kuba Muganda agamba nti omukadde wa wano taseka. Nga tannafuna amunyonyoogera. Okitiibwa Kalule. Olugero obadde olumanyi. Twegendereze nnyo. Ab'ekitongole kya UNAIDS, Ssaabasajja Kabaka baamulonda ng'emmunyenye mu kulwanyisa obulwadde buno. Tubugobe mu Afrika 2-3 wanaatuukira. Ekkatale erisooka ery'okukunga abasajja akakadde kamu ndowooza Omutanda yalikola. Kubanga atukubiriza abaami ffe abasajja emirundi 98 ku 100 ffe tutandiikiriza ebintu bino. Oweekitiibwa Kalundi Sserumaga anyenyeza omutwe ng'akikkaatiriza. Emirundi 98 ku 100 ffe tubitandika ebivaamu siriimu. nandibadde nga abakyala ennaku zino nabo beesoolayo baga tulina ku mwenkanonkano.
Mukama waffe mukulu waffe atugambye Katikkiro nti ffe bannambeemu mu kutandiikiriza embeera eyigga Mukenenya. Abadde mutuufu awo nno bannange abaami twerwaneko tulwanyise embeera eyo.
Era nga bwe mbagambye ebintu bino bw'otabyogerako kaati abakyala batono nnyo ayinza okugamba kubanga mubitandikireyo mu makubo n'omuwaana oluviiri n'omuwaana bino n'okola otya ne mubaako gye mugenda. Abakyala batono nnyo ayinza okugamba nti twekuume tutya. Okusooka gwe waguza ekindaazi ne soda waako. Abakyala bakyabagulira ebindaazi ne soda waako gwe wabiguze. Ate asuubira n'omuwa ez'entambula tezikoma ku booda booda, kuliko n'okugula gundi ono samona. Atyo okubuuza oba mwekuumye. Batono bw'omugamba nti nze omusajja anyirira bwe nti n'olyoka oŋŋamba ebyo nze akiika mu lukiiko lwa Buganda n'onsuubiriza ebyo ng'omukyala amaaso ateeka wansi. Munkenze fe abasajja ffe tulina okukuuma abakazi, tulowooze ku bannyaffe. Abasajja gye twakoma okwagala bannyaffe gye tulina okukoma okubalowoozaako nga situlowooza ku mwana w'omuwala ono gw'oli naye. Lowooza ku nnyoko. Gye tukoma okwagala bawala baffe, abasajja bamukola n'akajjanja ku bawala bammwe. Lowooza ku muwala wo kubanga n'ono gw'oli naye naye ayina kitaawe. Naye ayina kitaawe. Lowooza ku basengaffe, tulowooze ku basengaffe. Ono omwannyinaze ow'omutima yakubye engalo, mumwongere engalo.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Keep tuning in. And in case you're interested in exploring Uganda, feel free. Thank you. Naula Majorin Bole for Isinijuru TV.